So it's a sad day. It's a sad day. We got to leave this park. We just dropped off the trash. Gonna bring the golf cart up to the front so we can load it up there, because, you know, in the staging area. But bye-bye. Bye-bye. Everyone kind of moseys on out of this park. I don't see anybody leave in a hurry, you know. Because it's like one of those places you don't really want to leave. You don't really want to leave. Well, we're pulling out tomorrow. Sure gonna miss this park though. I could definitely stay here a little longer. We're gonna go do this ghost tour tonight. Bethany likes ghosts and I like the history, so they usually tell you some good history. I hope this was a good one. But then, as you know, we're in Breckenridge. Went to Bell. And next on our trip, we're staying in between Arches National Park and Moab. So we're gonna hit both of those next. So that should be fun. And then we'll head up north in Utah, you know, through Provo, and I think we're gonna stay in Heber City. And I'm gonna go to Dairy King. That's K-E-E-N, not Dairy Queen. But they make the train burger. When I lived in Park City in my younger days, and they have the train burger. I hope they still make it. It's like, think of a hot grilled ham and cheese burger. So it's ham and it's a burger. But the way they do it, it doesn't taste like you've thrown ham on a burger. It tastes like a hot ham and cheese mixed with a good hamburger. So I'm interested to see if it tastes as good now. You know, your taste kind of changes when you get older. I was probably 19, 20 years old. Moved out there to snowboard for a year. Trying to see if I can peek these mountains over here. They just play peekaboo with you everywhere in the park. (9,680 something feet, so you can probably tell I talk a little slower. Everybody's kind of chill here, and I kind of know why. It's like the low oxygen. That's a nice King Air right there. New Mark King Air. But yeah, this is a beautiful park. Look at this communal fire pit. It's huge. Wonder when they like that. But anyway, this is the kind of thing, this is what you, at least what I imagined when I decided to go RVing. It was parks like this. This is about the third park I've seen that is this level of quality. I mean, best so far, because we're right in the middle of Breckenridge, but I'm just saying the quality. Keeping the roads good, concrete paths, structures even. But yeah, we're gonna miss this one. Are they going on the ghost tour or not? No, I don't want to keep up with them.
Y'all need to go inside. Load up. No.
Man. You know, Vail is a ski village. It's just the village and then there's the ski slope. But Breckenridge is a ski town. I mean, the whole town is like a dang ski village. Looking out that window at the, they're over there.
There they are. We're just touring around.
Countries trying to take it over time. That always guarantees energy. So what I'm trying to tell you here is the longer you've been around, the more likely you are to have built up spirit and ghost activity. Just by being around and having troubles is a good sign. Guys, do you want to come over here?
Sure.
Good. Great. So, can anybody guess where I'm from?
Somewhere in the UK.
The UK, yes.
What part of the UK?
I hadn't heard it long enough.
It's okay, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm English, so I am just from south of London. London is over 1,000 years old, so guys, we win. Sorry. Basically, we've been around a lot longer. I am a local resident of Breckenridge, though, don't worry. So, yeah, the longer you've been around, more activity. Here in Breckenridge, we're only 160 years old. For me, that's quite new. So that means we have some history, we do, but we only have one level of our history. We're all about the Wild West. So those are the stories I'm going to be telling you tonight. Because I can't tell you about ghosts without telling you who was here and why they were here. It's all connected. So our story begins in 1859 with a man by the name of Reuben Spalding. Now Reuben came from the East Coast and he headed west to seek his fortune as a gold prospector. He got as far as Denver, and there he realized there were thousands of other guys doing the exact same thing as him. There really wasn't much gold to go around. Cherry Creek is the river that runs through Denver, and yeah, there were bear pickings there. So he hears a rumor that there is a river up in these parts that is actually full of gold. It's called the Blue River, named by the Ute Indians, who were the only other people ever to be here just for their summer hunting ground. So he decides, what can he lose? He heads up here, and he arrives on August the 10th of 1859. 15 other guys had also believed the rumor, so they all together put their gold pans down into this river behind me, which is the Blue River. And with the very first gold pan they pulled out, they had found 13 cents worth of gold.
Wow.
Anybody impressed? It's only $3.65 in today's money, so nothing much to write home about. But the next pound that went in was 27 cents and then $1 and so on. First guys to get here made a killing. They made a fortune. You see, this river was full of gold. Now, they quickly spent the gold that they found primarily on three things.
Women.
Yes, women were one.
Booze.
Yes.
What's the third thing?
Gambling.
Gambling. Yeah, well done. It's the obvious stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary. So that's what they spent their gold on. Now you won't be surprised if I tell you the gold only lasted 3 years. By then, the river was empty because there were 5,000 miners putting their gold pans in the same river. The gold was gone. But did they go home? No, of course not. They figured out there had to be more gold somewhere. And they guessed it was up there on the hillsides, up in the mountains. So they did what most people who come to Breckenridge these days do. They went hiking. They hiked up to the base of the mountain and found nuggets in the streams coming down. There was the next fortune waiting to be made. They made huge hose pipes made of steel with high pressure water running through, and they washed the gold down. They made another fortune, yes, which they also spent on the same three things. Yeah, they're not changing. You've guessed by now, they're not saving for the future, they're not putting it in the bank or sending it home, they're just spending it. 98% they lost on those three things. Now when that gold ran out, they realized the real gold was actually inside the mountain. But how were they going to get it out? They got those savings. This was going to take equipment, engineers, people who knew what they were doing. So here comes people from the East Coast, from the West Coast, from the North, people with money, investors. They arrived. They'd heard the news that we were finding gold in Summit County. They were the ones with the money for the machinery and the equipment and to pay the engineers. They bored down into the mountain, creating mine shafts, and that's where they found pay dirt. They made a fortune. But what happens to Reuben Spalding with his gold pan and his friends? Well, they just have to become employees of the mining companies. In 1880, a miner earned $2.50 to work a 12-hour shift in the hard rock mines. It's not glamorous anymore, is it? It's just a job. And a very dangerous one too. Now you may have heard stories of how dangerous it was to work in those hard rock mines, and I'm here to tell you those stories are true. There were blasting accidents almost daily which caused dismemberment or death to the miner. That is true. That did happen. There were cave-ins in the tunnels that buried miners alive. That is true. But most people don't realize that a miner could lose his life just riding the bucket down the ladder, down the shaft when he started his day's work. If the cable slipped, it would have plunged the miner in that bucket many hundreds of feet to his death below. So folks, if you look behind me onto the boat, second deck there, between the tall vertical red timbers, you'll see a bucket. Anyone see that?
Yeah.
That bucket is one of the originals that used to transport the miners down the shaft. Anybody want to guess how many miners at one time would ride that bucket?
3.
5.
That's a good guess. Who said 5? Yeah, that's it. Shane's got it. 5. How would they all fit? Well, only 2 would be allowed to ride inside, the other 3 had to hang on the outside. Folks, there was no such thing as health and safety, it hadn't been invented yet. There was no ocean.
Sounds like an ocean pilot.
They risk their lives daily. Now, if I could take you to any of the mines that we have around here in Summit County, and we had 3,000, I could guarantee you a dead body, a ghost. But don't worry, we're not going to hike. It's too far.
Too muddy.
Too muddy. And when we get there, they're closed anyway, for our own safety.
That's the oldest house in Breckenridge. And these are pretty old too. And look at that peak. Right there. I know, but I know. Yeah. The oldest house in Breckenridge. 1882, she said? No, 1870 something? Should, they don't have plaques on them? Yeah, just can't run up there. She's like, he's good, right? He can leave. We're not blocking him. And I said, Mark just don't want to leave.
Well, we'll come back in July.
Come see us in Montana. We're going to be in Santa Fe for winter.
You going to Santa Fe?
Yeah, we're going
Yeah,
to
but that's a long
ski.
time from winter.
Ski.
You never know.
Cross paths in Texas. Bye, y'all. I hate leaving. I don't want to leave. Is it 11 yet? Yeah. No, you can follow me. No. 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 I feel like a second-class citizen just leaving.
No, you're gonna take a right-hand turn. You're taking a right-hand turn. Right.
Left and then a right down there.
No lefts. The clubhouse is off to the right.